Lesson 2.7 is on factoring quadratic equations. So the only thing new today is that I'm adding in an equal sign in the problems, that we actually need to do one additional step to solve it. So let's look at number 5. So this is what number 5 looks like. Okay, it is 12v squared plus 24v minus 10. And here's our equal sign, and there's a 5 on the other side. Well, if you remember from in class, we need it set equal to 0 in order to, when we graph it, the y value here, if this is y and this is x, so let's put the y up here. This is y and this is x. In order for a parabola, okay, that's one that opens up. We could also have one that opens down. In order for it to cross the x-axis, like here, the y value has to be 0 in order for us to be at that point on the graph. So that's why it has to be set equal to 0. So what we need to do is we need to get the 5 moved to the other side. So let me erase this picture here. And it's a positive 5, so I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Okay, keep in mind where your equal sign is so that it happens on both sides. It's going to be set equal to 0 now. And the question is, where does the negative 5 go on the left? Does it go under the 12v squared, the 24v, or the negative 10? Well, it is like terms with the negative 10, so I'm going to put it under there. So I get 12v squared plus 24v minus 15. Okay? Now, set equal to 0, I want to see if it is in standard form, and the answer is yes. I want to see if it has a greatest common factor. Can I, hopefully, pull something out to make these numbers a little bit smaller? And thankfully it does. It has a 3 I can pull out. So it's going to be 3 equals 4v squared plus 8v minus 5. Okay, and that 3 is just going to hang out until the end. Okay, let me get some more room here. And I'm going to kind of bring this over here for a second and factor it. When I look at this, AC is 4 times negative 5, so negative 20. And I need factors of negative 20 that add up to be 8. And again, if you're not good with your multiplication tables, you might just need to go through them all. 1 and maybe negative 20 doesn't work. Negative 1, 20 doesn't work. 2 and 10, well, those look like they're going to work. Which one has to be negative, though? And it's the 2. So I'm going to write this as 4v squared minus 2v plus 10v minus 5 as I run out of room there. Sorry. And when I do my factor by grouping, they have a 2v in common. 2v minus 1. And they have a 5 in common. So it would be 2v minus 1. So if I come back up here and I rewrite this, it's going to look like 3 times 2v plus 5 times 2v minus 1, and it's equal to 0. Okay, so I wrote that down here. What does this say? It says that I have 3 things. Somebody has to be 0 in order for it to equal 0. So I just test them. 3 equals 0. Not possible. I don't care about him. 2v plus 5 equals 0. Subtract 5 from both sides. Divide both sides by 2, I get v equals negative 5 halves. Which is good, because that's the right answer. And then I get 2v minus 1 equals 0. I add 1 to both sides. Divide both sides by 2. v equals 1/2. Okay? And if you wanted to check these, you go back to this line up here, and you check it in that line. Or you can check it back in the original line that we haven't messed with at all. So what would that look like? What it would look like is you would say, here's 12, and then you would plug in whatever our answer is and square it, plus 24 times whatever we're saying the answer is, minus 10 equals, and when you hit equals, it should be 5. Okay? And so what you would do is you would test this answer in both spots first, hit enter, see if it works, and it will. And then you test the other answer in both spots and see if he works. And it works as well. Okay? So your two answers again are 1/2 and negative 5/2.